In the story The Hampire by Sudipta Bardin-Collin, a pig/vampire is terrorizing the other animals on the farm. This is a story appropriate for all ages. On the farm, the critters knew, at night while they were sleeping, past barns and pens, past lambs and hens, a hampire went out creeping. Some nights they'd glimpse his blood-stained fangs. Each morning they would find, sprinkled on the grassy lawn, red droplets left behind. So while the moon shone in the sky, they all stayed out of sight. While Hampire roamed, they all stayed home, until one fateful night, a restless duck tossed in his bed. "It's hopeless," he was mumbling. "I've counted sheep, but cannot sleep, because my tummy's rumbling." Poor duck tossed left and then tossed right. He sat up with a quack. "It's risky, yes, but I confess I need a midnight snack." Just then, the hampire left his pen in quite an awful mood. His belly growled. "I need," he howled, "to sink my teeth into some food." Duck scurried to the kitchen and fixed a plate for nibbling. He grabbed jelly rolls and ice cream bowls with chocolate syrup dribbling. The hampire looked around. His fangs were bared, his nostrils flared. He'd sniffed out where to go. So as Duck walked across the lawn, a shadow grim and dire crept near tiptoe. Duck screeched, "Oh no! Here comes the fearsome hampire!" Duck raced to Redkin's coop and roused Red from her slumber. "Inside!" he cried. "The hampire, hide!" As outside, footsteps lumbered. The hampire's gruesome face drew near. He'd climbed up on the stoop. They took one look. Red quaked, Duck shook, then both fowls flew the coop. They raced to Pony's stall. They heard the hampire screaming, "I'm starved, of course. I'd eat a horse." His pointed fangs were gleaming. Across the stable, Pony glimpsed the hampire's sniffing snout. "We're out of luck," cried Duck. "It's time to chicken out." Pony gasped, "We've got to run." Both birds climbed up on her back. Pony raced as Red quaked and Duck clung to his snacks. "The hampire's on our tail," cried Duck. "Our goose is surely cooked indeed." The trio shrieked, and when Duck peeked, the swine was gaining speed. "Which way?" asked Pony. "Over there," said Red. "I have a plan." So while Hampire roared, they headed toward an old abandoned shed. "Come here," bellowed the Hampire. "I'm hungry for a feast." But just before he reached the door, they slammed it on the beast. When they were inside, Duck cried, "Oh no, we're out of luck." The shed had no back door. Filled with dread, Duck hit his head. His snacks fell to the floor. Just then, with a bang, the door fell down. The hampire looked around, frowned, and charged the fearful gang. The critters braced themselves for Hampire's fangs. They squeezed their eyelids tight. They heard the beast begin to feast, but no one felt a bite. Soon Duck peeked through his wings to see how Hampire filled his belly with bowls and bowls of jelly rolls. His teeth were stained with jelly. You're not gonna eat us," cried Duck. "Well, of course not," replied the swine. "I'm no barbarian, and when I dine, I'm always vegetarian." The critters stared in disbelief. The duck was first to crack. A thrill indeed, but now I need another midnight snack.